April 2023, I was sitting in an orphanage in Uganda. I had 200 kids around me, and I had a little baby girl in the next room, which my wife already had decided would be our daughter. And me, I was outside in the yard / jungle / forest, and I was hanging a router into a tree connected to a 20-meter Ethernet cable to get some connection to build this business. Because we just started JIFU 1 month earlier. My wife had to come to Uganda to volunteer for 3 months in an orphanage. She always wanted to do that. But week 1, she fell in love with a newborn. She called me in Dubai and she said, Fabi, look at that picture. That's our daughter. So I said, okay, let's find out what we have to do. So what we had to do is, we had to foster her for 1 year in country, no exception. So I resolved our life in Dubai. We resolved the villa. We sold everything we had. I packed my whole life into a suitcase and I moved to an orphanage. And I repeat, 1 month earlier, we started this business. Her name is Celine. One year became almost 3. Court state moved, paperwork lost, approvals delayed. We went to court, they sent us home again, had to stay for another 6 months, another approval delayed. 3 years of waiting in a foreign country. 200 kids in an orphanage, knowing that hopefully one will go home with us. And while I was waiting, I built a blue diamond business. From an orphanage, holding a router into a tree. So before I say anything else this morning, I want to ask you a question. What is your excuse? What is your excuse not to do it? Look. Look, most people live a life where they build a dream for someone else. They have to ask for permission if they can have a day off. They wait for retirement, but retirement may never come. Do you actually know that in the Western world, where we have, I would say, one of the best medical resources, 20% of all people die before the age of 65. And this is the Western world, which means they work their whole life to finally be free, and they will never reach it. So here's the part that nobody wants to say out loud. If you are here today, if you have a passport, if you were born maybe with a passport that lets you fly, you have a responsibility. You do not only have that freedom, but you have the responsibility to build that freedom for more people. And that is the beauty of network marketing. And that is why I live in Mauritius today. So here's my family. Not only because of the beach. I know we have some Mauritians here today, by show of hand. I've seen some. It's my favorite place. And we live there not only because of the beach and not only because of the weather. It's a big reason, I have to be honest. And kite surfing as well. But because every morning I wake up in a place that reminds me that freedom is something you choose and something you have to defend. And do you know how I start every morning? So every morning I go for a walk with my dog. I try to do my 10,000 steps before breakfast, so then it's done, which takes an hour, 15 minutes. And every morning I pray. I always pray to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, with gratitude. And I say, Jesus, I want to thank you. I want to thank you that I have the privilege to live that life, that you have chosen me to be able to impact other people's lives and change theirs. I do that every single morning. And if you start your day like that, something is going to change in you. You will see. Start with gratitude. That's the most important thing. So the question is, how do you build freedom for yourself, for your family, for the people you love? I mean, there are not many vehicles to do that. You could maybe do a startup, but then you possibly need investors, you need an amazing idea. You could build a real estate empire, but do you have the money to do that right now? I don't know. Maybe you could do a traditional business, but a traditional business takes a lot of time, and sometimes it even takes your soul, and I've been through that. So what could be the solution? We have it right here. Network marketing, this company. Because if done right, it's the only vehicle on earth where you don't need capital, you don't need permission, you don't need to be the smartest person in the room. It is, in fact, very, very simple, but it's not always very easy. But you know what you need? It's only one simple thing, a system of duplication. When I started my career, I was so excited. And in my first ever month, I signed up 90 people by myself. Wait. There's a second part to the story. So I signed up 90 people, and now I was like, duplication. I mean, 2 turned to 4. 4 become 8. 8 become 16, become 32. I'm gonna get rich. You know what happened the second month? Out of 90 people, how many people do you think were actively working? 2. My wife and I. Here's how I did it. I used to own fitness clubs in Tenerife in Spain. And my idea was, I have a database of unemployed people. So if I call all of them and invite them for a business presentation, some people might sign up. So 200 people showed up, 90 people enrolled. And then I thought, no, they go to work. They didn't. But you know why they didn't? Because they didn't know what to do. And here's a very, very important sentence. If it can't be copied, it won't grow. Please write that down. We're going to say it together once, okay? If it can't be copied, it won't. One more time. If it can't be copied, it won't. Remember that. It's super, super important. Because your talent does not scale. Your charisma does not scale. Your energy does not scale. What scales is a system that people can repeat. You don't get paid for what you can do. You only get paid for what others can repeat. Read that again in your head. I'm going to go back here. So you don't get paid for what you can do. You get paid for what others can repeat. And if you only take one sentence from the whole event, I would say that might be the most important to build a large organization. So tattoo it on your forearm or put it in your phone, take a picture, whatever. So, and that's the reason why most people in this industry fail. Because they make it too complex, too different, and too dependent on them. They try to build a kingdom only they can run, and then wonder why no one else wants to join their kingdom. Anyone feels that? Good. After I learned what I did wrong, it was time to figure out what really works. And what I'm going to show you now has built 26,000 IDs in the first 2 years when we started JIFU and didn't even have products. And it is a system, an idea that you can apply to whatever you have, to your videos, to your style. It is just a system. How many of you are ready to duplicate? Okay, one more time. How many of you are ready to duplicate? All right. Then let's get into it. So duplication is not a feeling, it is a system. Please keep that in mind. It's not a feeling, and it is a... Thank you very much. 6 words. That's the whole game. 6 words. Write them down, take pictures, but don't forget them. First one is do. Please everybody say do. Do means you have to do it first. If you have never done it, there's nothing you can duplicate. You make the calls, you post the content, you show up at the events. All of you have done that. Congratulations, you are all here. But how many people did not show up, right? If you have not done it, you have nothing to duplicate. Here's a sentence that I always tell myself. You don't want to be a travel agent. You need to be a tour guide. You know the difference? The travel agent is the one that tells you, you should fly there, it's beautiful. I heard about it. But the tour guide is the one that takes you by the hand and brings you there because they possibly go there every single day. So step number 1 is, you have to do it. Step number 2 is, show. Everyone say show. Now you have to show the next person how it works. So you take one person, one, not 20, one, and you let them watch you. People don't listen with their ears, they listen with their eyes. I repeat that. People don't listen with their ears, they listen with their eyes. They don't care what you say. They want to see what you do. They want to see you doing it. That's why you show. And you show them in real time with real people. No one learns to swim from a textbook. Or another example, how many of you are able to drive a car, have a license? Could you learn to drive a license by reading a book or watching a video? No, you have to do it, right? And you have someone next to you who shows you how it works. Step number 3, observe. And now you flip it. They do it, you watch. And now, listen, you shut your mouth. And that is the hardest part, I'm telling you. That is the step everyone skips because it's uncomfortable. They're going to do it badly. You're going to want to jump in and correct them. Don't. Correct them afterwards. A leader who can't watch someone struggle does not build leaders, he builds followers. Then the next step, let go. This is the hardest one in the room. You know why? Because your ego is going to fight you. You have to let them lead. Without you in the room, without you on the call, without you needing to be the hero of the story. And that's why it's so hard. Because most people want to be the hero. They think it feels so comfortable when people cheer me on, when I'm on stage, when I enter the room. But this way you will never build a large organization. If they need you to succeed, you have failed. And the last step, repeat. Sorry, step number 5, there's one more. Repeat. Now you do it again. You do it with the next person. And you do it again. You do it with the next person. Same simple system, same steps every single time. Boring is the price of duplication. I repeat that. Boring is the price of duplication. If your system is exciting, it's probably not duplicatable. If it's duplicatable, it's probably boring. Choose boring and get rich. Last step, step number 6, dominate. Now, and only now, you don't compete anymore. This is where momentum happens. You know why? Because everyone is doing the same thing. You dominate, And while everyone else is trying to be the star, now you have hundreds of stars doing their own thing. You're not the hero anymore. You're not in the bright spotlight. Now we have freedom. I want you to not forget these 6 steps. So we're going to do a little exercise before I'm going to leave the stage. So, and as you know from yesterday, I'm going to need your help. So please, everybody stand. Okay, we're going to start very, very easy. You see the word over here. So I'm going to say duplicate. You say duplicate 3 times. Okay, with me. I say duplicate. You say duplicate. I do it. You do it. I do it. You do it. 3 times. Everybody ready? Okay, super simple. Level 1. Duplicate. 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 Okay, guys, you're so good. I think we can go a step further. Have a look at the screen. We're going to make a whole song together now. So what we're going to do now is, I want you to lift your right hand, and I want you to snap your finger. Snap your finger. Okay, to help you out a little bit, what we're going to do is, DJ Adam is going to play the beat for us. That's the speed, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. What we're going to say, I do one time for you. Duplicate, duplicate, do, show, observe, let go, repeat, let's dominate. Dominate, from the front to the back, from start to the end, we duplicate. Duplicate, do, show, observe, let go, repeat, let's dominate. Dominate, from the front to the end. Okay, come on, louder. Front to the back, from start to the end, we duplicate. Okay, that works very well. We stop it here. You guys are amazing. You know what we're gonna do? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go one step further. And we're gonna make a whole song together to wrap it up. Are you guys down for it? Let's go.
Say,
Duplicate, duplicate, do, show, observe, let go, repeat, let's dominate, dominate,
from the front to the back, from
start to the end, we duplicate, duplicate, do, show, observe, let go, repeat, let's dominate,
dominate. From the front to the back, from start to the end, we duplicate.
You show one person,
Now they showing 3, that's a ripple in the pond, turning into a sea. Same tool,
same time, same fire in the eyes, now the newest in the room, teaching others how to rise. Structure, simple steps on replay,
from a coffee shop table
to a packed out stage.
every no is a
Start
lot.
to a yes on the way, stay comfortable, stay comfortable, then you hit that way.
If you know the leader, say that's right.
That's right.
If your future's bigger, say let's fight.
Let's fight.
From the break room chats to the ballroom
Deals we apply, we align, turn the vision to real. Everybody say,
duplicate, do, show, observe, let go, repeat, let's dominate, dominate. From the front to the back, from start to the end, we
duplicate,
everybody say duplicate,
duplicate,
do, show, observe, let go, repeat, let's dominate, dominate. From the front to the back, from start to the end, we duplicate. Everybody say
duplicate,
duplicate, do, show, observe, let go, repeat, let's dominate, dominate. From the front to the back, from start to the end, we.
Okay, listen to me. 3 years ago, I was in an orphanage in Uganda, holding a router into a tree. Today, I'm standing on that stage. I'm the same person, and the only thing that has changed is the system. And to wrap it up, look, my daughter Celine, she's 3.5 years old now. She doesn't ask me what I do for work. She doesn't ask me when I'm coming home, because I'm home almost every day. I bring her to bed and tuck her in almost every day. And that is freedom, and freedom is built on duplication. And before you leave this room this afternoon, after all the amazing speakers, I want you to remember one simple thing. Somewhere on this planet right now is a child sleeping in a room with hundreds of others, having a dream to live a different life. And the only thing that's standing between that child's dream and you, or in general, is a person that takes responsibility and builds something that lasts so you can help others to fulfill their dreams. So don't build a kingdom, build a system, then let go, step up, stand out, and duplicate. Thank you very much.
Everybody say duplicate, duplicate, do show, observe, let go, repeat, let's dominate, dominate, from the front to the back, from start to the end, we duplicate.